That's right, everybody. Mikey Kong is here.
It's here. It's true.
All right. That is good. This is good. That's looking good. Let me get the music all set up. Hello, everybody. We're going to get started here in a moment.
In a moment.
In a singular unit of time. Okay, there's that. Is this the right podcast? Oh, man. Ugh.
I don't know.
It's one thing then another. I'm like, get over all kinds of other stuff, and now I just got sniffles. Just got a little bit of a cold. Yeah, just a little bit of a cold, like for the hell of it.
It's all right.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel fine. Again, it's like one of those ones where I feel fine. There's just like one or two things wrong. My eyes are itchy and my nose is runny. I guess
I'm gonna be on an airplane tomorrow. I'll get sick too. Don't worry.
Yeah, there you go. That dry air always
Let's
gets
all
you
get
too.
sick together,
Yeah.
boys. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Have a fun sick off.
Okay, there's that. So let's test this. You guys hear that?
Yum yum.
Okay, let me get that over here.
So now we got new Reacher, new Severance. Thursday's a good night.
Do you watch Invincible, Christian? I know it's not. And I know it's not one of your Japan animations, Japanimations as they call them. But
I love every animation.
okay, that's pretty. The shoot animation that show got real good in the last this new season. Actually, in the first season you could tell they were cutting back. This season's been very good.
I like every animation.
Well, that's even Afghanistan animation.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. That looks good. Do I have the link for Mikey and Air, or did I just lose it? Let me see if that's just right here.
Oh, you mean Milio Tokotoner?
Yes. Milia Tokoto and Air. I'm going to put that here.
Excuse me.
Oh, nice out.
Provecho.
All right, that's good. I mean, that could just be there now. Okay, that's good.
Yes.
Let me get chat back, and then I think
Yeah.
Argentinamation. No, that's not. That's not. I can't say it. All right.
It's a sign. It's a sign to be unpronounceable by the white man.
All right.
All right.
The way you want it, right? I think we're good. I think I'm all set up on my side. I test the music. I'll skeet. I'll just skeet now.
You skeet it soon enough.
I'll skeet right now.
Wow, he's skeeting right now, everybody. Open your mouth. You. Should have said that.
I should
Why
ski
did I
too.
say that? It's probably the most unhinged thing I said in a podcast so far.
The sky's following me.
Okay, I've skeeted. Mike, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Christian, are you ready?
Let's go. I was born ready.
All right. I'm not ready. Now I am. Okay, in 5, 4, 3. The internet, you're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Game Mess Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world of games so you never have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeff Grubb, and with me is
Mike Minotti.
In today's episode, Oblivion Remake for real. Xbox is cooking a handheld console. Did Kojima just drop a new Snake? Mikey says Silent Hill F's in chat. And who wants to be a Mikey in Air? And then last second topic, because I forgot, Silent Hill F looks cool. So we're doubling up on the Silent Hill F apparently here on this episode.
What do you?
Mike didn't do that. He made the joke and then I just threw it in there and then
I didn't do it.
I must have done it while you were also writing it in there. Well, I did reference the fact I said Mikey, so maybe it's just
Mikey.
Yeah, he just assumed that you did it.
Other people talk about me sometimes.
Mike Minotti, how are you doing?
I'm good. Got a little weekend trip coming up, so been getting ready for that. I think I'm
When
mostly
is
good.
Mike Minotti gonna have an L? I don't think it's ever gonna happen again.
Yeah, I think it's going okay.
I think you're gonna
who
win
knows?
Mikey and Air tonight. There's some
Maybe.
hard
Ooh.
ones in there, but I think you're gonna win. So you're gonna earn a T-shirt before you go.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
That would be very nice. Like, yeah, I'll definitely get some T-shirts there. But yeah, I can't say too much about the trip right now. I don't know when I will, but yeah, I'm gonna have a fun time. But I'll be hanging around. I'm not going to Disney World, Jeff. I think I can say that.
No. You're doing important work. You don't have time for frivolous, childish things like that.
Exactly. You get me.
I went to the doctor today, and I'm just excited. My blood pressure, A-okay. Very good, actually. Best it's been in years.
Good.
Yeah, that was nice to see. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, okay, cool.
Well, you did lose weight and stuff. That will help with
apparently
that.
that helps. That makes a big difference, apparently. So, yeah. So, like 110 over 68. I'm like, oh, those sound pretty good to me. And then
do
I
those
Googled
numbers
it.
help you?
No,
'Cause
I
every
Googled it
time
later.
they tell me the numbers, I have to ask them, is that good?
Oh, I'm too embarrassed to ask them. They're just like, that's good. I'm like, okay. And then I try to remember the numbers, and then I Google it when I get home. I'm like, okay, that's the good range. That's the good range. So apparently doing all right. So that was nice to see. But other than that, kind of feeling a little sick because I have kids, and that's just how it goes. Yeah. That Emmy was sniffling yesterday, so I sniffle today. That's how it goes.
I see. Are they going to build up some antibodies here soon or something?
I don't know. I mean, they'll build up for the shit that's already happened, and then the new shit will come down the pike, and I'll have to deal with that. It's a whole other thing. I was playing Fester's Quest again. I don't know. I think I like it.
You can't get it out of your head.
I think I like it. Yeah, it's kind of
now
fun.
you know what to do.
Yeah, but once you know what to do, it's kind of like okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, look, there are still so many things about that game that are egregious.
Yes.
I think the worst thing is that one enemy attack that just slows you down indefinitely unless you know to use vice grips. And if you have vice grips, that's insane.
Yes.
It's just the weapons hitting the walls is so infuriating every time that happens.
Especially because so many of the weapons have a like
they're wavy.
They're symmetrical and wavy. Like there's ones that like will like shoot out to like two sides at the same time, and if it hits the wall on one side, it stops immediately on the other. So it's like that one didn't hit a wall. Why is it stopping? Well, because its brother over there did hit a wall. It's bad.
I kind of want to try that European version where the weapons go through the walls, and apparently some of the health pools have been lowered because it is insane how much health a lot of these characters have.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. There's some other NES games I want to play that are probably better, including like from Sunsoft. I want to beat Gremlins 2.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
The new
Sunsoft
batch.
has got some good games for sure. Yeah. But Mike played that for Blake Club, everybody. That's up on Giant Bomb now. You should go check that out. It was a good time.
That's right. Part of the Power Block, which I need to have a bumper for. I'm riding.
Yes.
Just like I'm riding to take down the government.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you're rioting, but in a very pleasant way.
Very pleasant and polite way, but still firm.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No. You are you're anti-establishment is, I think, how we would describe you.
Like Hank Hill telling guests at his cookout that they want their steak done well done, right? You ask them to leave firmly but kindly.
Exactly. Yes, you are gaming's Hank Hill is what we've always known.
I like that. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. You know what? Let's thank everybody for joining us and give us a good rating wherever you are listening, and hit that like button on YouTube, please. It helps people find the show. If you want to ask a question, you could drop a super chat during the show here on YouTube. We'll get to all of those before the end of the program. Thanks to Carlos Ayin, who is Insane in the Rain Music on YouTube for the use of our theme songs. Thanks to 1UP vs. CPU for our artwork. You can find more at 1UpVersusCPU.com. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever pods are caught. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to Christian for producing, and you can get more from Mike and me and support us by going to patreon.com/GameMess. That gets you access to our Discord server, participation in Q&A sessions and our game club discussions, early access to new episodes of Game Mess Jeopardy and Columbros, and of course, all of our shows ad-free. Again, some of that stuff in the works, more stuff happening. We do have plans. It's just getting everything lined up for a lot of that stuff is still, it's a hassle, especially with all the power block stuff that has been happening, taking up a lot of time for me. Friendly reminder, you can also become a supporter by becoming a YouTube member. Click that membership button right here if you're watching us live, click that membership button, gets you all that same stuff. Or Twitch subscriber, twitch.tv.com/Tokoto. That's Mike. Twitch.tv/Jeff Grubb. Both of those get you all the same benefits. Join the Discord, hang out with us there. It's a good time. All right. I guess I should remind everybody, patreon.com/GameMess. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Got big topics. Let's talk about it, Mike. You ready?
Okay.
The rumored Oblivion remake could launch sooner than expected. Could get announced here very soon. Could launch as soon as June. As soon as this leaked, someone texted me that I trust and said, "Yeah, I heard this. This is happening." So, hey, boy, I would like to be playing Oblivion remade in Unreal Engine 5. I bet that's going to look pretty good. Although I'm also like worried that it could just be a broken mess. But why would they put it out if it wasn't ready? They've never done that before.
No, you would never do that with a Bethesda game.
No.
Hey, that's neat. I think we were kind of expecting this earlier in the year when there's that Xbox event, right? We thought that this was going to show up there, and then it didn't. So it was a little bit like, oh.
I said June. I guess it does. It is April, right? April's the God. That's crazy. It's April 2025. It could be
April
as soon as April.
A bit more than 2 weeks away is April.
Yes. Yeah, that's bananas. So I guess it could launch as soon as April, but it's going to release potentially before June. So somewhere in that range. We're talking about something that is 2 weeks away, probably from us hearing about it at the very least, right? So, is an Oblivion remake something that you've been pining for? Was that even like something you were entertaining? I mean, we've been hearing these rumors for a while, but I guess before that, was that something you were thinking about?
Yeah, a little bit. I like Oblivion a lot, and I'm not super bothered by its current graphics.
No.
There is some ugliness to it. It's some ugly characters. In some ways, it's a little charming how ugly everyone is in that game.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm down to see what it looks like all remade and, prettified and all that stuff. Oblivion is a very good game. Honestly, one of the first kind of Western style RPGs I really played through. At that point, I wasn't super into the genre, believe it or not. I was more of a JRPG weeb purist at the time. And I think there's a lot of people, especially some Skyrim fans, people who got into the series with that game who never really got around to Oblivion. And I hope that this will give them a good excuse to do that.
Yeah, I think it will. I am curious to see like things like mod support, what that looks like. If any current mod can be easily mods for Oblivion.
That's your first thing is mods.
Are you kidding me? For Elder Scrolls? Yes.
Oh, it's still the first thing you're thinking about is mod. They're remaking the game. You're still just immediately thinking about mods.
I think you're the weird one here.
Oh, yeah, I guess I am. But
for
no,
Elder Scrolls.
Even in Elder Scrolls, I don't use any mods and don't really care to.
Yeah, I mean that's fine, but that's weird. Like this is a franchise that has
even for like the launch, like right away.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm curious about it.
This is the mod. The mod is that they modified it by remaking it. It's modded.
That's Bethesda. That's them just doing their goddamn job. All right, that's someone going to work and getting paid. Like I said, I'm curious about it because it is so important to this franchise that it absolutely is an important part of its ecosystem and its longevity.
You're right. It just never has been important to me. I've never cared about the mods.
I used a mod to get my Skyrim save off of my Xbox 360 and put it on my PC. So right away, and I'm like, well, I'm doing this. I might as well do some other stuff. Mike, you would love mods. They have ones that make everyone's faces clean. Don't you hate dirty faces and stuff like that? So
the faces were pretty clean in this game. They're just kind of weird looking. There's all those dead eyes everywhere. And I like the dead eyes. Damn it.
In Oblivion, maybe it's hard to see if it's like dirty or just ugly. Yeah, in Skyrim, it was very clear that they were dirty faces. I love mods in these games. I would probably play it the first time through with mods for sure. Yeah. I have no respect for game developers is what I'm trying to say.
I understand that.
Yeah. I am looking forward to this. I will probably spend a lot of time with it. I like Oblivion a lot. I really liked Skyrim, but I think Oblivion is the one that I actually enjoy the most when I think about it because it was just cool to go into that game, have the city, decide like, oh, I'm going to be a thief and sneak around and steal people's stuff and find a fence and then discover that there was a whole campaign built into the game specifically for an idiot that would play the game that way. Looking forward to kind of going through all that again and maybe trying to play it a different way. Yeah,
I think that Oblivion was a little bit of a sweet spot for the series in terms of the size and the complexity and the openness of it. Morrowind is maybe a more complex game, and then Daggerfall is a bigger game. And Skyrim is definitely the most streamlined of them. Skyrim still has a lot of those elements. It's not like Skyrim is some Oblivion for babies or something like that. I like Skyrim a lot too, But and I think people do say this a lot when you bring it up. The quest design in Oblivion is just very, very good.
Yeah. Yes. That was some of the best. Like, I think that's the standard by which I judge a lot of current quests still, is doesn't make me feel the way some of those Oblivion quests made me feel, for sure. You and your obedience kink, just like you how to play the game the way they tell you to.
Obedience kink, that's what it is. Obedience kink. Yeah, I'm worried that the game development police are gonna get me if I install mods on. I'm just lazy. I'm just like, I don't know, I can play the game now. Why would I install something else? I already had to install the game.
That was so much work. Yeah, for sure.
That was already annoying.
All right. Xbox branded handheld planned for release later this year, apparently. I think Asus is making this thing. That's the rumor going around. That sounds right to me.
Really? That's interesting. Asus has basically already made a good portable Xbox, so why not?
Yes, and they're like, well, now Xbox like will handle the software environment. So yeah, I think this could be good. I mean, what I'm really hoping is they go in there with the idea of let's like address. I want to say fix, but let's address every single tiny little issue with using Windows on a handheld PC by making something bespoke for one of these handhelds. And if they do that, I'm like, well, I'll be very happy, because I would love to use Windows on a handheld. And I do sometimes, occasionally. It's getting a little bit better. You can definitely use it. It's not like it's some unusable piece of crap. It's just a little annoying. So if they go in there and address all that stuff and make it streamlined, I will be very excited. You already really like your Ally X. Is this something that you are once again are pining for?
That's kind of the weird thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
I like my Ally X, and I'm gonna always be interested in any further Asus portable PC gaming handhelds, I suppose. I'm kind of curious to see just how much ground the Switch 2 covers in a lot of way first, right? Like, how powerful is that thing? How many Xbox games just end up on there anyways, right? Like, that's another aspect of this. How much are we gonna need a portable Xbox when Xbox just ports all of their games to Switch 2 anyways? So, how powerful can it be? What does differentiate it from a ROG Ally X? Is it just kind of the overlay, that sort of thing? So yeah, I'm curious. I want to see it. I have faith that Asus is going to do good work here. It is interesting that like Microsoft themselves just isn't doing it. Is there like a possibility that Microsoft doesn't manufacture the next home Xbox?
Oh, there's definitely a possibility of that for sure. Yeah. But I mean, I think they have a Xbox that they manufacture, and I think they have a handheld that they eventually manufacture. This was just the fastest way for them to
That makes sense.
solve the problem of using Windows on a handheld.
I mean, it'd be incredible if it was just like, hey, we let that Asus ROG. That's pretty good. What you were going to call the ROG 2? How about Ally 2? How about you just call that the portable Xbox?
And I think Asus would be like, yeah, okay. Like, yeah, sure, that's fine.
If
Like,
your Microsoft give us money, sure.
right, we would have sold, quite a few of these, but we will sell a lot more if the thing is just branded as Xbox. So, sure, why not? So, hey, we'll see how that goes. What do you think? I mean, if it's just a PC handheld, it's going to run the games it can run that run on PC, right? Like, do you think that they could have a layer of translation that lets some Xbox native games run on this thing, but do you think that's a possibility? Because I really don't know.
I don't know, Jeff. And, there's other things like the backwards compatibility stuff where you can play a lot of original Xbox 360 games on a current Xbox really well. I don't know if that stuff carries over.
I mean, honestly, that team, Jason Ronald's team that was doing that, I feel like that they are probably heavily involved in making sure all the stuff that they can get working on this thing, like that's probably what they're working on. So whether that manifests as the backward compatibility stuff as we know on Xbox, or some kind of new backward compatibility translation layer that enables native Xbox games to run on PC. But I mean, at a certain point, it's like, if their future is making PCs that they label as Xboxes, maybe it just makes more sense to get people ready to like port those games over to PC, just release them natively. That would make more sense. So I'm curious to see what their stance is going to be on stuff like that.
Yeah, I also am, and I really have no idea. So it's a bit of a wait and see thing.
Yep. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach introduces its own Solid Snake. Really, that 10-minute trailer came out. It looks absurd. It's baffling as always with Hideo Kojima. I had a good time watching it. I think that it looks interesting. I want to play the game. I'm actually kind of getting in the mood to play Death Stranding Director's Cut, so I'm going to be spending some time doing that. I think I might do next week's Grubb's Gimmicks on Giant Bomb on that game, playing some more of that game. So I'm in the mood for this game to come out and blow me away, and it's coming out sooner than people were realizing. June 11th, was that the date, or June 26th? One of those. It's June sometime. How about you, Mike? I know these trailers usually kind of make you roll your eyes.
I don't know if I was rolling my eyes so much in this one. It's just kind of, I don't know. I wasn't reacting too much. I said
Right.
before, it was kind of just a series of pictures and sounds and words. There was one line, I can't remember, that made me roll my eyes a bit. But hey, whatever. I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. Did you say that you recently found out that a character named Die Hard Man's real name is John McClane?
In the video game Death Stranding, the character Die Hard Man, his real name is John Blake McClane. John
So
McClane.
deep, bro.
Do you like
So
that?
fucking deep.
I like how it makes me want to scream. Like, not many things do that to me. This does, and I'm like, what? What?
Is that a metaphor? Wait, is that a metaphor? What is that?
It's not a
I don't know
metaphor.
what- I don't
That's
know.
for
It's
sure.
a reference. It's a reference.
It's just
I don't
a
think It's a
reference.
metaphor. It's just a reference.
It's just, do you remember Die Hard? Like, at a certain point, that's all it is. That character's also the president in that video game. Look, I do think
What was Die Hard Man's platform that he ran on? Like,
That
trust
Die
me,
Hard's-
my creepy mask face. Look at my skull face. You can trust me.
it was that Die Hard's a Christmas movie. He won that vote pretty
He's
handily.
gonna canonize it.
Yeah. Hey, I want to play it. I don't know. I am I want to see how many of the ideas from Death Stranding 1 carry into this game. It does look like they're still going to have like the delivery system and stuff like that, but this game's supposed to be about how like the first game was us connecting, and that was a mistake. And literally this trailer says we should not have connected.
Oh, that's kind of interesting because I do think all the time about that, like the incredible optimism of the internet and then of Web 2.0 and how it was nothing but a good thing that we're making the world smaller. And, while you're going to be able to just talk to somebody from China, isn't that beautiful and amazing? And like, yeah, there's a lot of other things that happen like that. Next thing you know, we're just watching videos of people getting beheaded. Right?
Yep.
Like, it's just like there are
Straight
other
line.
consequences of that.
Yep, exactly. And and he'll deal with that. He does always bring in that stuff into his writing. It'll be ham-fisted, but I personally don't mind that. I want my video game fist to be a little hammy personally. So
Okay.
that's okay with
Alright.
me. And then there was
How do you shave your balls, Jeff?
Oh, no, we were going to get to that. God, all right, jumping ahead in the news. I can't believe they didn't want to talk about your balls on Voicemail
I know.
Dump Truck. I was like upset for you. You asked
Yeah, right.
you asked a genuine question that you would have supposed your male grown-up friends who are there to support you.
I can't handle it.
Yeah, but all right. I mean, maybe they're not really friends. That's made me
That's a
mad.
good point.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point, Jeff. Maybe they're a bunch of fake friends all along.
This is a horrible podcast.
Now, Manscaped does sell a razor blade now. So I think even
Yeah.
they are saying, well, you can't just stop at the lawnmower
The trimmer.
4.0, the trimmer. You do that to clean it up, and then you got to finish the job with actual sharp metal.
That's right. That's right. Got to get metal on flesh. It's the only way to really take care of that.
I was also confused. Like, is this okay? There's still hair down there. Have we completed the job? So
That's what the first time I used it. I was like, I don't feel shaved. I don't feel right. I don't feel fresh down there
nothing is shorn here. What have we accomplished?
yet. This isn't a fucking chia pet.
Anyway, solid snakes in this fucking game, basically.
Yeah, what the, is that like Die Hard Man? Is that just another reference? Because that's really all I'm maybe getting at it. I don't know.
I
There might
mean,
be more there.
Okay, for that, I expect there to definitely be more there for him to talk about, like, what it meant to him to, lose that character or whatever. He does that kind of stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
he does use metaphors, and he will use that.
He does.
So, I think
It
that
could
will
mean
go
something
beyond.
interesting about how he feels about, not really being in charge of that character anymore and people making stuff about him without him. It could just also be, I kind of put someone who looks like Solid Snake in my game. It could just also be that. I don't know.
Mike, you might be on the fucking money right there because this guy doesn't have a lot of things going on.
Well,
I respect Kojima. I love it. He's Alex Navarro once said he's like white as an ocean and deep as a puddle.
Sure.
And I think he nailed it with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I
don't
mean,
think
like-
he has more to say than that.
He likes watching TV and movies a lot. Like that's the guy, and like he just like he knows the language of.
Wikipedia.
He knows the language of self-expression and like what people like the tropes that people go to be like, I am expressing an idea. But yeah, I actually, again, I don't care that much if it's not that deep. But you know, as Radu Paragal Taganas in chat points out, he uses his games as his own therapy, the way Bacalar uses Voicemail Dump Truck as therapy. So yeah, I think that is.
That's his therapy, because that seems like torture to Bacalar.
I mean, hey, we're not making him any better. I'll say that much.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's helping.
Mike, you watched the Silent Hill F trailer. That's
Yes.
a new one just dropped. I haven't had a chance to look at it. I've had a busy evening. What'd you think?
It was pretty neat, Jeff. It's basically Silent Hill in Japan. It's like the fog rolls into this sort of, quiet Japanese village, like Silent Hill's on tour or something like that. So you have a bit of, some of those, and I'm not somebody who's super familiar with Japanese horror cinema, but there's still imagery here that was giving me a bit of that vibe. There's some freaky stuff happening. Like one point, the main character's looking at the camera, then like her face starts just like peeling off from the top, like it's just falling off. I'm excited, Jeff, because I liked Silent Hill 2, that remake, so much that I'm hoping that there's just a little bit of kind of momentum here, and it's gonna be good. Now, it's not Bloober Team making this; it's a company called Neobards, who has kind of worked on a lot of remasters and ports. They've actually worked on like Resident Evil ports. I think they worked on a lot of those multiplayer modes that didn't quite hit, like Reverse. They also did the recent Dead Rising Deluxe remaster, I think. Things like that. So, but this is definitely their biggest project so far. And, again, I hope there's like a little continuity. I don't expect it to play exactly like Silent Hill 2, but I hope there is some of that vibe in here, and this doesn't feel like, oh, this is a completely different team on the other side of the world, just also made a Silent Hill game.
Yeah, I think I think of Nintendo in the way that they work with outside developers, and it's like they have a really strong producer at one of their divisions that's like, I oversee the 2D Metroid games, and I will work with an outside developer to help to make one of these, but I'm also in charge of making sure the game is a Nintendo Metroid game. Yeah, I think I'm with you that the idea here would be that there's a strong producer at Konami who oversaw Bloober, who is now taking those ideas that really seem to guide Bloober in the right direction and say, okay, now let's apply that to F. So like you said, you're not talking about continuity in terms of narrative. You're talking about continuity in terms of the quality of the game.
Quality of the game and like the feel a little bit. Again,
yeah.
it doesn't have to be exactly the same. I don't have to have the wooden stick with the nail in it and then the shooting and all that same exact mechanics. But yeah, I want it to feel familiar. I want it to feel like the same series still.
Yep. Christian, you watched it as well. What'd you think?
Yeah, I love it. I'm a Siren freak. I love those games. So this has that vibe, And yeah, it's pretty cool. They leaning really hard into the Sadako the Ring movies. That
right. It's the first Silent Hill set in Japan. It says here in my notes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most of them are set in Silent Hill.
Oh.
You see.
They don't have Silent Hills in it's not like a Springfield where there's just towns named Silent Hill all over Japan as well.
No, I don't think so. That's a nice thing.
It will be cool though. Yeah, because it's the first one. They're like, yeah, we're gonna go full Japanese culture, Japanese like, their all their customs and that kind of stuff. So it looks cool. I love it.
Yeah.
And the writer, I'm not a fan of the writer. The writer is like a famous visual novel writer. I'm not a fan of his stuff, but he surely does like good horror. I think like people say it is like good. So I have faith in this game. It looks cool.
Cool.
Yeah, and there's no date or anything on that trailer, Jeff.
All right.
So, I'm not expecting it this year, at least, I guess, then.
Yeah, that kind of feels like maybe the thing where there's another trailer like very late this year that maybe gives us a date for next year.
Maybe Game Awards.
Yeah. Silent Hill 2 really just kind of came out. It feels like that just happened, and it's not like Konami is able to like put these things into a factory and just pump them out or something like that. Each one's going to take time.
I do think this was pretty good timing to release this trailer, though, to remind people, hey, you like Silent Hill 2 remake? Well, more is coming. You know, you don't have to wait for the next remake. There's a next mainline Silent Hill is happening also. Please be excited.
And then, you know, just as a reminder, we did get that news. Bloober Team and Konami are working together again on something. And everyone just seems to assume, I think fairly, it'll be another Silent Hill remake. Maybe just going back to one.
One
and then,
plus three?
Yeah, one, then do one, then do three. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you combine them like that.
But they're continuous.
I think they should.
But I mean, maybe you think they should, but I don't think they will because it's more money to do two games. Right. Like it just is. Right. So, I mean, we'll see.
Everybody go watch the Sphere Hunter Silent Hill videos. Those are fucking awesome.
Absolutely. Love Sphere Hunter. All right. Yeah, that does it for the big headlines, but I think we got
Did you
Did
you check out real quick the Steam sales? The spring sale started today.
I didn't.
Well, that's right. You don't need to worry.
I mean, no,
about
I always rush to those things.
This motherfucker has that account.
Okay, all right. What'd you fuckers buy? What are you so excited about?
What I got? Anno. Oh, you got Anno. Nice. That's one of like the deep discounts.
Yeah, it's
God, I like Anno. Anno rules. How can I sort this stuff? I'm trying to remember. Was it Pathfinder? I got Pathfinder, that JRPG finally.
Okay.
I was happy about that. Yeah, so I want to play through that thing. Now I can't remember, and I'm very bad at organizing my list.
I'm sure you got The Walking Dead, the Telltale Definitive Series. You're a huge fan of that.
Absolutely not. No, don't really care about that thing whatsoever. Oh, okay. Oh, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition was so cheap, and I'm like, well, I have that on Xbox. I may as well get that on Steam now. Enter the Gungeon was like $1. Also, yeah, Final Fantasy 10 and 10.2 HD Remaster, because I do want to play 10.2 finally soon, and it was very cheap. I was like, okay, I'll get that.
Cool. All right. Well,
Sekiro's cheap, but I think I have that on Xbox already. I don't know if I need the PC version.
Yeah, it's great everywhere. You can play that anywhere, especially because you'll have the backward compatible version, right? And that's gonna run that's gonna be awesome. I think I do remember testing that on the early Xbox Series X, and it was awesome. Okay, that does it for the headlines. Like I said, that's what we wanted to talk about, but there are people who have sent in things that they want to talk about in the form of super chats. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll read those right after this.
Yep. It's good shit.
AEW Fight Forever for $4. All right.
Well, what the fuck? Okay, all right. Okay. Oh, I probably have that.
Oh, my water bottle. Almost.
Sure, I'll buy AEW Fight Forever for $4. Come on.
I think it's easily worth $4. That's fine.
What are we even doing if I don't buy that?
Oh, hell yeah! I want to get for sure.
All right.
Get the Elite Edition.
Super chats.
Yeah, I'm ready when you guys are ready to get back into it.
Wait, I need to buy this game. Yeah, I should just jump back in.
All right, here we go. Mm-hmm. All right, we're back. I see some super chats. Mike, go ahead and read them.
Big Fresh 37 says all this AI in gaming, but they're not using it for the one game that it would be cool in. Endless conversations with C-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is wild that we're seeing Aloy talking in an AI voice, but even like that, right? Like it doesn't sound as good or seem as interesting as C-Man was. There's actual creative ideas with C-Man. So even if you just go back and pluck the ideas of an intelligent person who made C-Man and try to throw AI into it now, you're still not going to have anything.
Yeah, you're right. It's like the Sega's probably just like, well, if we did that, people would think we're making a new C-Man. So we have to we can't just put that out as a test or something like that. So yeah, but I personally would like to see that. I think that is the actual good use of all this AI large language model bullshit is give me a game where I could talk to a stupid character that will, insult me.
Exactly. Next one here is from Big Fish again, who says, heard anything about a remake of the original Phantasy Star Online? I think a guy talked about it about 6 months ago, but I don't know if I should believe it. I didn't hear this when it was brought up 6 months ago. If I did, I forgot about it immediately.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Have you heard anything? Phantasy Star Online is kind of a weird game to remake, Jeff, because it was it's online. Calling it an MMO is generous in terms of the actual amount of content in the game. I loved it though, but I also wonder if it was very much a product of its time.
Yeah, they did that Phantasy Star Online new Genesis update to like the most recent version of Phantasy Star Online, and it's like, well, they're kind of they have stuff that's slightly more modern. Going back, I don't know. I suppose if they did a ton of work and brought that back, and Sega's in the mood to do that sort of thing, I would check it out. But maybe it's like time that they actually just went back and remade Phantasy Star, the first, JRPG instead of trying to go right back to Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah. Well, if they have I like that Sega Age. I would love a new sort of Phantasy Star.
Well, I mean, yeah,
instead of even remaking one, just give me like a new HD 2D Star, or just whatever you want to do to make a new single player Phantasy Star. That would make me happy.
I'm a little surprised like that hasn't been leaked as part of this initiative of bringing back Sega franchises.
Maybe it's a phase 2. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's not like they own any companies that are good at JRPGs, Jeff. What can they do?
No, that's a really hard thing for them.
Big Fresh says, Mike, what's your favorite position in bed?
Oh.
I've tried to play the Rogue Ally in bed like you always talk about, but I can't get comfortable. I mean, I sit up. I do just kind of sit up in bed when I'm doing that. Laying down and playing on any handheld is a little uncomfortable for me. So I am just kind of sitting up, crisscrossed up, sort of my legs out there, and I got my laptop thing, my Surface Pro, propped up on some pillow, pennies at my feet, and I'm just playing like that.
Really?
Is that?
No. I mean, I don't know. None of that was wrong. I just, I think I would be more uncomfortable in a lot of those positions and laying down with like, sort of supporting it with one hand that's on the surface that I'm laying on, and then kind of just stabilizing it with the other one, like kind of laying on my side. That's pretty comfortable for me. But I'm usually, when I'm doing that, that's like I'm making a conscious decision, like let's go lay down with the Steam Deck on like the big beanbag or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, that just, I don't know what it is about that.
All bodies are different. I mean, honestly, I get uncomfortable at this computer desk trying to play games that way, and I'm like, I'll just go lay down and play games. So that's just my body.
I'm pretty comfortable at the desk. A little too comfortable.
Yeah.
Simon from Saskatchewan says, fuck tariffs, but I'll still support U.S. things like you all. Thank you, Simon. Elbows up. I'll be very impressed if Mike knows who coined that. Jeff should, because a DET legend.
I'm blanking on that. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Elbows up. All right, I'm going to Google elbows up.
I'm sure I'll be disappointed.
Here's what elbows up means and why Canadians say it. Guys, there's a whole story about it. Oh no! Give me a fast answer here. Story. Oh
Did you just
no!
Google
It didn't
who
do it.
said elbows up or just elbows up?
It's inspired by Canadian hockey legend Gordie Howe.
Oh, okay. Gordie Howe. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I knew I was gonna say it. I'm sorry.
And he was a Detroit Red Wing. He was like the Detroit Red Wings. So yeah, okay, fair enough. When I think of Gordie Howe, I think of the Gordie Howe hat trick, which was Mike. A hat trick is when you score 3 goals in one game.
I know what a hat. Okay, all right.
I'm just want to like okay. I'm doing be the
that
audience.
wasn't even a joke. You thought I may not have known.
No, be the audience surrogate a little bit. I was going to get to what a Gordie Howe hat trick was, so I was just setting up the stage. A Gordie Howe hat trick is when you get a goal, an assist, and a fight all in one game. So that's a much more impressive thing, in my opinion.
And Backler's right. I still just kind of look like Uncle Fess right now. I still look so pale in this light. I better stay outside a lot this weekend.
Listen, I mean, that really, you're being sent to Florida as like a prescription to cure the Uncle Festerness.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, it is like the tail end of winter too, right? Or just like it's just getting nice out. This is the palest I'm going to be. Gonna work on that.
I have started walking outside again, which reminds me, I do see Dan in chat. Dan, remind me to ask you or ask Bianca directly. I know she likes walking outside. I'm like, you guys are in Minnesota now. What'd she do? I need to get some tips on this, because I spent all winter not walking outside, and I'm like, I think getting outside a little bit was instantly a cure for some mental stuff. So I'm like, I need to find some answers to that question.
Simon's back. It says, is Duke Nukem Forever bad enough for Blight Club? If yes, could Mike be dressed as Randy Pitchford? Each time sexist jokes happen, you need to apologize. I will never dress up as Randy Pitchford.
No, that is that's against the bylaws right there. No, thank you.
Maybe as a joke, I'll dress up as a generic magician.
Sure. I mean, you kind of did already, Uncle Fester.
Yeah, I basically have the cloak and everything.
Yeah.
I bet Duke Nukem Forever is bad enough, but I am worried about just how distasteful it might be, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Simon again says, I am a star is one of the best ways to end the show. Thank you. Also, Dan saying pussy emphatically on Beastcast was an all-timer.
So you sure it's not the Bombcast?
That would make more sense. Why did I? It's funny that I didn't even watch the Beastcast at the time. I absorbed it all through osmosis after becoming friends with these people. You're right. Bombcast. He did say pussy a lot, didn't he?
He always does. We've asked him to stop. It's a problem.
Yeah. My mistake there. One more from Simon says, found a Nintendo list for you to fix. Yardmaker's most memorable characters from old school Nintendo games, 25 of them. Starts okay, but T-Hoppy. Who the hell's T-Hoppy?
What's Thoppy? What's T-Hoppy?
T-Hoppy is, oh my god, it's one of those it's that Rambo Bunny Terminator from Clay Fighter.
Oh my god, that's on a top 25 list.
25's not that many.
And it says Nintendo characters. What? Okay, and it says old school Nintendo games. That's crazy.
Man, boy, people just couldn't stop copying us this past week trying to fix 360 list. Huh?
That's when you know you made a good list. That you made so many people mad that there are multiple revisions. I'm pretty ashamed that we forgot Pac-Man Championship Edition DX, which is a game I played for hundreds of hours. I love that game. So, yeah, kind of a failure on my part specifically.
Postman Dan says, so, Silent Hill F, huh? Yeah, what does the F stand for?
Fuck.
Why is it lowercase? I don't like the lowercase.
Okay, it's not a capital fuck.
Remember we thought it was like a picture thing back in the
like
day?
F-stop?
Yeah, remember we were theorizing about that? And
right, because
in the trailer.
Go ahead, Christian.
Camera.
There's a camera?
Yeah, nothing in the trailer is camera like related or like picture related, so...
I don't know. Is it like a musical symbols or anything musical in the trailer?
Well, sure. I mean, yeah. What is F? You're right. A little lowercase F means something, but there's not a musical element in the trailer, really.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it means nothing. Maybe they just thought it looked cool. Like they weren't going to call it Silent Hill 8 or whatever they're actually on. They don't want to remember Downpour happened.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. But in a part of the trailer, they were like doing like a ritual, and there were some like music stuff around her.
Yeah.
So
is it Forte? People are saying Forte. That's what F means in music. Okay.
Forte, that's it. Well, I don't know. We'll find out. Sludge Reinhold says, apologies if this has been mentioned on another pod or in the trades, but is it intentional that the game-breaking news theme is the same melody as the Mike Minotti song?
There might be a similar auteur behind the music for the Mike Minotti song and this song. So, yeah.
Mike Minotti?
Alex Boniello. Well, okay, you're right. You're you're right. You sang it first. But yeah, Alex Boniello helped us come up with that. So yeah, shout outs to Alex.
Tuber says Mike Minotti, the smoothest man in gaming. Thank you, Tuber. I agree.
Now, do you think?
Well, yes.
He means like smooth isn't like that's a smooth dude, or that you are texturally smooth as a human being?
I think he's talking about my balls.
We don't need to say the joke out loud.
Argentinian noises. We need that for the closed caption.
I just broke Christian.
Shit. I thought we were Uncle Festering still. I didn't know we were back to the balls. I'm ashamed. I should have known what was going on.
You should have known better.
Next up is from Willow Davis. Says you're becoming Garther with these Oblivion rumors.
Fuck, man, don't say that.
You can't just say things.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
can't just you can't take it back now. It's been a super
and then we all
chat.
like sit here. We know exactly what you're talking about,
right?
Obviously,
and I'm offended in the way I'm supposed to be offended by that insult. How dare you,
man? Screaming Madden says Mike is a pro gamer after playing Fester's Quest. He should go moonbathe at Disney World soon with his wizard hat and sunglasses. Tonight's a good night for moon bathing. That moon is huge tonight.
Yeah, I was driving home from the doctor's appointment, and I was coming down the highway, and it was perfectly lined up at the very end of the highway. This huge sphere, like surrounded by trees on each side. It looked so cool. And then, yeah, it's going to be a lunar eclipse tonight.
Firehair says, favorite Oblivion quest, whodunit all-timer for me. It has been so long enough that I don't know how well I can remember individual quests anymore, which is great because when I play this game, a lot of it will feel pretty new to me. It's like playing Donkey Kong 94 right now, Jeff. Like every time I play that game, it's at least been like 4 years, maybe even more. So I don't remember exactly. So it's never like, oh, I remember this level. I know exactly what to do. No, every time it's like a new experience.
Yeah, for me, it's like, I mean, I'm vaguely remembering it, but the Thieves Guild quests sort of naturally unfolding as I played the game that way anyhow was very cool.
Okay, so I do remember now the Thieves Guild quest where you do actually steal an Elder Scroll.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, that's neat. That's the name of the video game.
Right. That's always going to get a pop from me when you get the thing that's the name of the video game, especially if there's a subtitle that you think is more important. You're like, hey, the Elder Scrolls is just the name of some old video game and they wanted to keep that. That's not relevant to anything. So the fact that it becomes relevant on that quest is cool. And then really just being like, well, I like sneaking. I can sneak. These people get mad if I'm in their house and they don't want me there, but I could sneak into their houses and take stuff. And then you're like, well, shit, I can't sell any of this stolen stuff. How do I deal with that? And then you discover fences, and that leads you on this path. And again, it's just a natural progression of this play style. I thought that was so exciting.
It's good stuff. Next up here is from TGIF. Bromalgia says, congrats on Fester's Quest Bike. Peanuts. Thank you, TGIF. It is fun, Jeff, knowing that I beat that game. Again, a game from my childhood that I played pretty early on. Like, it might be one of the first 20 video games I've ever played, right? It's like that early on.
Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah, it's a very weird game. I'm was happy to watch you beat it.
Don't say that. Next up is Grubb. It says, so because Mike beat Fester's Quest in one sitting, he isn't going to take the picture with his feet out. Awesome job with that peeviness. No, look, I can't stop artists from doing what they want to do, though, right? And
exactly.
Maybe, we've dressed up as Blight Club characters before for conventions and stuff. Maybe at a PAX West or something, I could bust out the Fester Quest. I don't mind the makeup on that as much as these more elaborate and kind of difficult to get off the Quanchy stuff. So
right, yeah. And I think we put in an official request for feet, and you're like, you said no. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. You've given feet away enough for free.
That's too much feet already. Chris Pratt says all these remakes and remasters and still no Mario Arcade remake. Might have to drive my new Tesla to Miyamoto's house for a talk. Peanuts. Oh man, you hear that? Chris Pratt heard the call.
Yeah. He's doing his duty to God and country, of course.
But let's be honest. Chris Pratt, very likely a Tesla owner, right? Symbiosis says, any penis, PAX East plans this year, my dogs. Personally, I will not be there. My Disney trip that I planned with my family a while ago just kind of happens to be then. I assumed it was going to be earlier in the year, in March again, like it was last year. So I'm missing PAX East. Sorry.
I think I've been told I need to be there by work. So yes, probably. I'm
jealous. I wish I could be. PAX East is great.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's I want to be there, and I think even without Mike, we might do something Blight Club related, just because PAX really liked our last panel.
Wow.
Hey, what can we do? You're the one that's gonna go quit on us and go take a vacation.
At least I can't lose and be punished by playing a Blight Club game or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it'll be. If we do something Blight Club related, and again, I don't think there's anything written in stone yet. If we do it, it'll be some variation on the theme. Maybe another multiplayer one that wouldn't make sense for Mike or something like that.
It was a lot of fun, PAX West, playing that awful Wii Families mini game thing.
Well, yeah, we could just have someone play the part of Mike Minotti. We could we could hire. And then I said Heil. We could hire an Uncle Fester cosplayer, and then immediately I think I broke because I'm like, Jeff Grubb, What do you think? There's just Uncle Fester cosplayers for hire
Instead
in
of
Boston?
getting the real Uncle Fester, we'll get a fake. Next one here. Sorry, my YouTube crashed, of course. Let me make sure I'm at the right place. Here we go from Hilly Intelligent. Hope Oblivion remake isn't just the same game remade in the, or isn't just a game remade in the Skyrim engine. I mean, what's the Skyrim engine at this point? Skyrim is not that much newer a game than Oblivion anymore, so it's going to look better than Skyrim. It's going to be an Unreal Engine.
It's Unreal Engine 5. Yeah. So, and there is, and there is an Oblivion remade in Skyrim by fans. It's a mod. Oh, scary, Mike! You better run for the hills.
That's pretty bad.
Called Sky Oblivion, and some people have been working on that for years. And so there's a lot of people are like, man, this kind of sucks for those people. But I mean, you make mods, you know what you're getting into.
I've been accused of mispronouncing Hillian, but I always say it like that.
So this is the reason I can remember now because of this person's username, right? Highly intelligent. They're making a pun.
It's a pun. Highly intelligent.
Hylian.
Why do I say Hillian?
I did too.
Right. That makes no sense.
I know, but I did too. I was a kid when I was reading this stuff. I don't know. Honestly, I didn't even think about what it sounded like, and then I'd have to say it once, like Hillian. Whatever.
I did just do stuff like that. Like when I was a kid with Pokemon, I was like Charmander, Charmeleon, and then I looked at the word Charizard, and I was like, Charizard. Yeah. I call him Charizard.
Sure.
Until they said his name in the anime.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shit.
All the time
makes
I did
way more sense. Next up is from Epic Open World. It says, do you think they will improve the combat in Oblivion? After Avowed, I can't go back to bad Bethesda combat.
I think they'll improve it. I don't think it'll be as good as Avowed.
No, I don't. There's a part of me. They'll probably improve it. They might not. And I'll be fine with it. But yeah, that might be a hard pill for some people to swallow.
They're remaking everything in Unreal Engine 5. Why wouldn't you just improve it? But you're right, they might not.
I mean, yeah, because like, what is improving?
It won't bother me. I still like the way it feels.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know. It's not that kind of game necessarily. There's obviously combat in the game, but yeah. Next up is from Sultan Abbasi. He says, got a super chat and run. I'll catch the VOD. Have we confirmed Mike's placement on the speedrun leaderboard for Faster's Quest? I mean, if I submitted it, it would be last place at 8th place. I don't think I'm going to submit it, Jeff. It's just, I wasn't speedrunning. It's just not a speedrun,
Yeah, fair enough. It was.
I can learn the speedrun probably and try something and submit that. But it's just, it's not a speedrun.
Yeah, fair enough.
Next up here is from Michael Yu. 10 Super Chat. Thank you. Says, any update on the God of War remasters? I saw Santa Monica say there wasn't any announcement planned for the event taking place on the 22nd.
Yeah, I mean, I said this on Twitter somewhere. Like the way I heard it was when that State of Play was getting announced, I was told there would be no God of War remasters there, despite the rumors happening at the time. And it's like, if that happens, that would probably happen somewhere closer to the anniversary. So that's how I heard it. Now, they're saying there won't be anything. Now, I think those games exist. I do think those games are probably going to happen. At the very least, they are by far the most popular games that Sony has as part of its streaming service. Like its most streamed games are all of those original God of War games. So they know how popular they are and how well they would be received if they did remaster it. So there's just some circumstantial evidence there for you. But yeah, I do think something's happening there. But no, they don't plan to announce it now. Maybe it just happens later this year or much later than that. I really don't know.
That boy Jerry says, Mike, did you see the game Threads of Time yet? Super Chrono Trigger inspired JRPG. Looks promising. Also, favorite Easter candy. Yeah, I did. It looks nice. There's a lot of these kind of indie RPGs inspired by Chrono Trigger things, and usually I wait for word of mouth to let me know if I should play it. And even then, I maybe don't get to them like I want to. There's another one. Was it Chained Echoes or something like that everybody really liked?
Yeah.
It came out a bit before Sea of Stars even, and I should check that out and just haven't yet. But yeah, Threads of Time is on my radar. Easter candy, Jeff. Doesn't do much for me. I don't like candy that much anyways, and Easter candy, I think a lot of it is pretty mid. Not a peeps guy.
Go ahead, Christian.
No, I was saying fake Italian. He doesn't like Easter.
I don't like Easter candy. In the home crunchy, it's just prosciutto. You get baskets full of cured meats. It's much better.
A lot of salted meats everywhere, just all over the yard. I like Reese's Eggs, as people in chat are pointing out. I also like Starburst jelly beans, things like that.
When I was in Catholic school, like it was like the Girl Scout cookies. They would give us this catalog of Easter candy we were supposed to sell to our relatives around Easter time. It was this whole thing. I was selling all those oversized eggs and bunnies and all this garbage that tasted like cardboard.
Mm-hmm. And the bunnies were always hollow, so it was like actually like just 2 ounces of chocolate and really disappointing. Yep.
Next one is from Philip Rodriguez. The San Francisco Nintendo Store, Mario Kart Lego set, and Doom: The Dark Ages all launch on May 15th. Is there any chance that is also the Switch 2 launch date?
I mean, it's not impossible, but probably not. Probably it'll probably be a little bit after that. Although the Nintendo Store being open, in time for the Switch 2 to launch, that probably is not a coincidence.
Magners the Corgi, with just a super chat here. First one, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Wolf to you too.
No message. Wolf. Big Fresh 37 says Death Strand writing is Borderlands 3 writing. That was them, not me, who kept saying Death Stranding. Wait, the game is called Death Stranding. Death
what are you talking about?
I don't know. My brain broke.
It's okay.
This
Stranding.
You talk about your balls all the time. Affecting your brain.
Death Stranding writing. Is that the name of that game? That sounds wrong. Death Stranding.
Death Stranding is the name of the video game.
I just really hate saying the phrase Death Stranding writing for some reason.
Sure. Okay. Yes. Yeah, sure. But that is what they wrote here. Death Stranding writing is Borderlands 3 writing. Sure.
Okay. Maybe. Anyways, look, I haven't played Borderlands 3, but that sounds unfair.
Yeah. I think they're just
Borderlands 3.
If you want to say, if you want to say they're both bad, I think that's fair. I think they're just bad in different ways. That's fine.
Get him! Oh God, Dan Reichert's concerned for me. No, I'm fine. I did see Borderlands 3 is deeply on sale for the Steam sale. I was almost like, well, what the heck? Yeah. Then I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll play Borderlands 4 when that comes out. I don't know if I want to play 3.
I think I'm in the same way.
There's a Magners the Corgi again saying, Jeff, have you heard anything about the beta launch for Subnautica 2?
No, I haven't. I've really been looking or paying attention. But I'm, always interested in starting up a series called Grubbnautica at some point. So I'll keep an eye open for it.
Night Trauma with their first super chat. Thank you so much. Says, thank you guys for all the awesome content. Always look forward to anything you guys do. Here's a first ever super chat to celebrate Mike stomping Fester's Quest like Chris on Womps the Floopas.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Night Trauma.
Thanks, Night Trauma.
I appreciate that. Postman Dan saying, donating to get us to stop talking about balls. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we'll see if that changes anytime soon.
Mikey O'Leary says, donating to keep talking about balls. All right. Well,
and that one has more thumbs up. So there you go. Yeah.
Chuck Towski lifts her tail. I have no idea what it is, you imply master.
Imply?
I am but a poor Argonian maid. Oh, Cranius. So you are my dumpling. And a good one at that. Such strong legs and shapely tail. I believe this is the lusty Argonian, Jeff.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. And I definitely recognized that on first. Like, as soon as I read it, I knew we were talking about a lusty Argonian.
Edgar Marino. My little sister told my son that I used to make Final Fantasy X/Naruto AMVs when I was younger. Did you guys ever do anything more embarrassing? Look, I think that sounds kind of cool, Edgar.
Yeah.
Don't let them get you down.
And aren't the kids a little impressed by that? Like, they probably think that's cool. I mean, how old are your kids, I guess? If they're like teenagers, maybe not so much.
I mean, oh, yeah, I don't know. I'm just into it. My brother made a Warcraft 3 music video set to Dave Matthews Band one time. I thought that was pretty neat. And there was a Dragon Ball Z music video set to It's My Life by Bon Jovi that I thought was amazing. I watched the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, there's probably a list of things that are more embarrassing that I did that I've blocked out to save myself from not having to think about every day for 20 years.
That's fair. And then finally, Tuber says, when is Mike going to address the allegations that he is abusing NES testosterone? After beating Fester's Quest in one go, I am convinced he is doping. We were tested before Blight Club, right?
Yeah. No, he's clear. I mean, now, he could be on that next-gen stuff that we can't track yet, but, I mean, as far as the rules are concerned, he's well within the bounds.
There you go. I'm clean, at least as far as everybody knows.
Yeah, I mean,
that's it
you know what it is? It's like you're so patient with those games because of like stuff like Mega Man that you got really good. Like you beat Mega Man 3 without ever getting hit. You beat one of those games.
Not without dying.
Without dying. Still, okay.
Not getting
still, hit. That is like a testament to like how patient you could be with those games. And that's a game, Fester's Quest. If you play it patient, like. You see an enemy coming at you, and you're like, you're not killing it. And I think, like, a lot of people are like, fuck, I'm just going to give it a couple more shots. And you always backed up. You always were like, nope, I'm going to give myself more space. And, like, I don't know. It just was the right way to play that game. So you're built for it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I like playing these old NES games. It's fun. I mean, I'll talk about it later, but that night, I just was like, well, let's beat one of my childhood NES games that doesn't suck. And I played through Little Nemo.
Little Nemo's a great one, yeah.
It was just the same thing. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is great. You know, it's difficult, and you die a lot, and you got to redo things, and then that's okay. You get a bit better each time, right? Like, that was the whole thing with Dark Souls, right? It brought a little bit of that flavor back to gaming a bit. And yeah, there's something about that I find very appealing.
Mm-hmm. All wrapped up?
All wrapped up for now. If you guys want to send in any more super chats, we will get to them before the end of the show. Thank you so much for all of the support. You're amazing.
All right. It's going to be time for Who Wants to Be a Mikey in Air. We got that set up, ready to go. We'll get to that right after another break. We'll do that.
Dan, get ready in case I need to call you. Dan, get ready in case I need to call you.
All right. We are on a break.
All right. Yeah, Dan could be your phone a friend. Absolutely. Okay, and I'll get this set up.
The more I think about that, the more there are holes in that plan.
Hey, you never know. Okay, there's that. There's this. And then let's get this here.
Will call anyone he knows except for his trivia show host.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, my God. Yes, that's so true.
Yep.
Absolutely incredible.
Bad person.
A bad human being.
Okay, is this going to fit in here? I guess I'll have to be like this. Like that.
I will for sure be as helpful as possible. Okay.
Okay.
I said for shoot, and everyone knows what that means.
You know, it's I noticed that people don't have the same issue with work, right? I think people just get work, right? Like, hey, you're being worked.
Well, yeah, because like working the crowd is a like fairly common one.
But
that's,
that, yeah, you're right. It's more
past wrestling.
Yeah, it's like because you know they all come from the same sort of like showmanship, like carny speak of people traveling around. But you're right, working the crowd definitely is one that got out there much further than shoot.
Or like you got worked over is kind of the thing. Yeah,
absolutely. But it's like the one that you know people can complain about at this point. We're not going to stop, and people are allowed to not like what they don't like. But the one that always gets me is like words mean what they mean. And so, okay, well, you know, this form of using the word shoot this way is decades older than you. It's, you know, whatever.
Hi, Mike.
Hello.
This is so weird because like if this was real life and I hear somebody talk in a way I don't like, I don't go to them and I'm like constantly telling them that I don't like that.
Yeah, that's also you know the idea of like asking anyone to stop talking in a way I don't like is crazy to me also.
Weird.
But whatever.
You know what?
People are allowed to not like what they don't like. Yep.
In the chat, Dan Reichert says, I'll stop when the internet stops saying waifu and senpai. And you know what? That's very fair.
Completely fair.
That's fair.
Right?
That's fair, Dan.
That's
completely
so
fair.
Because those are made up words that are also mildly offensive sometimes.
Right.
I never
Not
heard
senpai,
Dan
but
telling
waifu.
people like stop saying senpai or waifu to their faces.
Well, senpai is just like a Japanese word, but waifu is like a corruption that is.
I will only allow Japanese people to say senpai.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair.
All right. I think we are set up. Mike, let me share this with you, though.
Thank you, Dan.
Oh, did you guys talk about Mike's balls yet?
Yes. And then
Quite a bit.
got some super chats about it. Don't worry.
Just making sure.
Thank you.
You should be here to be on the right side of the force, not the other side.
No, Christian, I am offended at the way they treated my friend
Thank
Mike
you.
Minotti.
This is what I said.
Thank you. Wow, my real friends are all here.
It is
My real friends are all here.
2025 is a perfectly normal thing for someone to take
Right.
care of themselves that way. Like, yeah. I was, you know what? I was disappointed. My man
too.
Jan was sitting there. I could see it on his face. He's like, oh no, I have to tell the olds that they're wrong about this thing. But that involves telling the entire Giant Bob audience that I shaved my balls. What do I do here? And so it took him like a solid 2 minutes to jump into the conversation.
Bro comes
He
to
was
me
fighting with
concerned about
himself.
taking care of his balls. I'm going to tell him the truth and I'm going to have his back. And yeah, 100%.
Yeah, shave your
Beautiful.
balls. It's fine. Jesus Christ.
All right. Set up.
All right.
Ready to go. I think, Mike, you should be able to see it as well. I think it
right.
might even work this time, guys.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, oh my god, let's go.
Okay, I see it.
All right, let's get into it. We're back. We're back with Mikey and Air. Who wants to be a Mikey and Air? Mike, this is the game where I give you ascendingly difficult questions in the style of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. They're all video game related. There's 10 this time because that's the way that this outline worked. They'll get pretty difficult. If you win, I will buy you a shirt from the Yeti whenever you say go. Are you ready, Mike, to become a Mikey and Air?
Yeah, let's see if there's anything good over on the Yeti right now. There's some Frost Vital shirt because that marathon is happy. See, what's all this Yu-Gi-Oh shit?
So really good stuff.
I might be banking that one for a little bit.
It's-
There's some Street Fighter stuff. That doesn't look terrible. Okay.
It's your call.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
ready.
All right, let's get right into it. All right, here is your first question. Which console did Sony release in 1994 in Japan? Was it the Xbox, the PlayStation, GameCube, or Sega Genesis?
It's always so messed up trying to think of the PlayStation as a 1994 console, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's why. I mean, I was like, right. I'm like, oh, I should just say in Japan because it's a weird thing to think of otherwise.
Yeah, I'm like, I associate that console with the year 1995 so
It's
much.
December in Japan, so it is very late to the point where most people probably never touched a PlayStation in 1994, even in Japan.
Yeah. It's PlayStation final answer.
All right, there we go. Correct. All right, here we go. On to the next one.
Hooray.
In Minecraft, what material do you need to mine to get diamonds? Is it A, cobblestone, B, dirt, C, stone, or D, diamond ore?
Yeah, I mean, I don't play a ton of Minecraft, so this isn't based off of experience, but I imagine that it's probably diamond ore makes diamonds. What? This is, what's that Celebrity Jeopardy with mustard seeds? This condiment is made from mustard seeds.
Yep.
That's the vibe here.
Diamond ore, is that your final answer?
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
Okay, good.
Question number 3. Which of these is not a starter type in mainline Pokemon? Is it A, electric, B, water, C, grass, or D, fire?
I am pretty shocked we have had this many generations and they haven't switched this up
Shocked.
yet. That's funny. Yeah. Now, assuming we're not counting that time you can get Pikachu as your first Pokemon, the answer is electric. Generally not one of the 3 starter Pokemons that you can pick.
Mike, is that your final answer?
Final answer.
All right. That is correct. All right, question number 4. What is the name of the AI companion in the Halo series? Is it Edie, B, GLaDOS, I'm a B, yeah. B, GLaDOS, C, Copilot, or D, Cortana?
I remember that naked blue lady anywhere. It's Cortana.
And that's what Copilot used to be called. All right, let's go ahead. Is that your final answer?
Oh, they changed the name of Microsoft's thing?
Yeah,
it's not Cortana anymore?
Cortana, they got rid of Cortana kind of across the board, yeah.
I see.
Is that your final answer?
That's final answer, yeah.
Correct! All right, we're on to question number 5, worth apparently 1,600 points, which are meaningless. In the video game Super Mario Bros. 2, birds fly on magic carpets. What are those birds called? Is it A, Pidgey, B, Pidgeotto, C, Pidgeot, D, Pidgeot?
Well, again, context clues are going to help me here because those 3 of these are Pokemon from the same evolutionary line, and one of them isn't, which makes me think that D, Pidgeot, is the magic carpet bird from Super Mario Bros. 2.
So it sounds like you're going to go with Pidgeot here. Mike, is that your final answer?
Final answer.
Mike's going with D, Pidgeot, for the birds that fly on magic carpets in Super Mario Brothers 2. That is correct.
All right. Doing good. Still have all my lifelines. I feel good.
Halfway done. Things are going to start getting a little bit more difficult from here on out, but just a little bit so with question number 6. In BioShock, which ability enables players to shoot electricity from their hands? Is it A, Electro Bolt, B, Electrokinesis, let me say that again, B, Electrokinesis, C, Static Flick, or D, Shock Treatment?
Ooh, okay. Yeah, this is the first hard-ish question. Because, I played BioShock. I remember getting an electric ability. I don't remember what it was called. Shock treatment sounds too cute. Electric bolt sounds too basic. I think it's electrokinesis. Let me close chat just to remove temptation in case people are saying anything in there. I think it's electrokinesis. Static flick. It's not really a flick jet. I don't think it's static flick. I don't think it's shock treatment. I don't really think it's electro bolt. I think it's electrokinesis. And it seems crazy to just maybe go with my gut a little bit here, but these questions are going to get so much harder, Jeff. They're going to get so much harder. I don't really want to use a lifeline yet. I just don't. Just
as a reminder that you use them or you lose them. I mean, but if you get it wrong, you are done. There is no coming back from a wrong question. But Mike, hey, you're right. It's only going to get harder from here.
Yeah. I don't know how much this audience knows about BioShock. They're all young. And my brothers played BioShock, right? I don't think they're going to remember the name of the electric spell, so calling them is not going to help that much. 50-50 could help, but not a ton. I think my best course of action is to be a little risky and just go ahead and say electrokinesis. We're going to raw dog it with no lifelines.
All right. For the question, in BioShock, which ability enables you to shoot electricity from their hands, allows characters to shoot electricity from their hands? Mike is going with B, electrokinesis, if that is his final answer.
Is my final answer Jeff Grubb?
All right. Mike Minotti. That is incorrect.
No!
The correct answer was Electro Bolt.
Oh, I fucking blew it, dude.
I thought that one might be a tough. I wasn't sure. And I'm like, electrokinesis will definitely trip him up as I was coming up with that one. But I wasn't sure if it would really trip you up that bad. Let's see how you do on the rest of these, though. No t-shirt this time. So we're going to come back. We're going to have more Mikey and Airs in the future, of the foreseeable future.
Dan, did you know Dan? I should have called Dan. God, Electro Bolt is so generic, but I guess... yeah, that's fine.
I was surprised too. I'm like, I think I just don't like the fact that it's called Electro Bolt when I was looking this up. All right, question number 7. In Deus Ex, what disease is used to control the world's population? Is it Black Death virus, B, Gray Death, A, Blue Plague, or D, a Mega Strain?
I never played Deus Ex 1. It's one that's very high on my to-do list. Yeah, I would like to do that pretty soon. But my guess would be Omega Strain. That sounds Deus Ex-y.
All right, it's Mega Strain. It's actually Gray Death.
Yeah, I would have had to have lifelined that one, and that would have been tough too, because man, I would have been guessing, and I feel like most of the lifeline people would have been guessing, so 50-50 would have just had to help me on that one.
This one was going to be my sort of this could be like my gesture to you. I think try to get you there to the end. In the video game Fester's Quest, who gives you TNT? Is it A, Mama, B, Morticia, C, Pugsley, or D, Wednesday?
It's funny because I think it was Wednesday. I think Mama gives you Lurch. Mama gives you the noose.
And the phrase "Mama gives you nooses" is going to be burned in my head for the rest of my life. By the way.
Yeah, Morticia was also pretty late in the. Was she early?
I think Morticia gives you.
Morticia might have given you TNT.
I think Morticia gives.
She might have given you the vice grips. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Because very early on, the first two you see, I think, are Pugsley and Wednesday. And you don't get the TNT then. You know what? I bet it wasn't Morticia. I bet Morticia gives you TNT. It was Pugsley?
It was Pugsley.
God, I would have gotten that wrong. That would have been embarrassing.
Also, when you got it wrong for that one, I thought that one might trip you up, so I changed the wrong answer text to say "lol, eat shit" for audio listeners, just so you know that. All right, question number 9. What device enables Sam to detect BTs in Death Stranding? Is it the Odridex scanner, the chiral detector, the timefall sensor, or the UCA scanner?
Oh god, I bet it's called timefall sensor. I wonder if Dan would have known this one if I had to.
Yeah, I'm like,
I had to call him on this.
Right when you said Dan, get ready. I'm like, oh shit, he might be able to help with this one, but I don't know. Dan also, I mean, I played this game like for several hours. I used this thing. I did not know what it was called.
I mean, I played a chunk of it. I don't remember the name of this thing. Let's guess timefall. Let the time fall.
It says wrong. Don't you respect auteurs? It's an Odridex scanner.
Man, I'm not. Man, this. I feel better about losing when I did because this is getting rough for me in all of this.
All right. Last question. What is Doom Guy's real name in the Doom novels? Which, I guess it's not canon, but in the Doom novels, is it A, Doom Guy, B, Jack Carver, C, Romeo Cormac, or D, Flynn Taggart?
Romeo Cormac would have been good. They might have been that cute with it. Flynn Taggart, that sounds, I don't like saying that. Jack Carver sounds like something they would have just named this guy. Let's go with Jack Carver.
All right. Do you want to use your 50-50? It's your last chance.
Oh, I still have lifelines? I
Sure,
thought I
if
was
you
way
want.
dead here.
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead. 50-50 it.
All right. Let's see if that's going to work. All right. I got.
What do you know? I guess it's Flynn Taggart because that and Doom Guy are my only choices now.
That is correct.
Flynn Taggart? Who the hell can go to jail?
Yeah, it's bad.
Flynn Taggart.
That one,
God.
I was just kind of throwing some stuff around. I'm like, I remember those novels. I thought he had a name in there. I'm like, that can't be right. And I had to go to a bunch of websites just to check. But apparently,
Pretty
Flynn
good.
Taggart.
Yeah.
Rough stuff.
Man, I don't think I got a single other question right after that one I missed. Dang.
I mean, you didn't take your time to really think some of them through. So, when you do that, you usually have a better chance of getting things right. So, but hey, yeah, those did get really rough. It was hard
to start
to
losing eventually. That's okay.
It was hard to do the difficulty curve with only 10 questions. So, we'll iron that out for next time and do another Mikey and Air. But this time, you are not a Mikey and Air. You remain just a Mikey. You know what? Still rich in all our hearts, though.
That was my intent.
All right, let's take one last break. We'll come back. We'll talk about what we've been playing, all that good stuff right after this.
Mike's a loser. Mike's a loser.
All right, you guys still good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Let me
Sean, do you want to talk about Capcom Cup before this?
I actually didn't watch much of it.
All right, let's not talk about Capcom Cup.
Okay.
All right, we're back. And Mike, what have you been playing?
Well, after Fester's Quest, I mentioned this. I did play through Little Nemo, the Dream Master, not Dream Finder. Yeah, Dream Finder is a character from Epcot. Yeah, the Dream Master. This is a Capcom NES game. Another one that I had as a kid, and I like. Are you familiar with this one at all, Jeff?
Little Nemo?
Yeah.
Yeah. I played it a little bit. I never beat it or anything like that, but I like that game. I think it's a good video game.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. I mean, Capcom was just so on fire at this time. They could rarely do too much wrong. And yeah, this game just has all the stuff you want from Capcom, where it's that really tight, good feeling 2D jump in and move in. The music is, of course, incredible. Also, like the characters in the setting. It's based off a movie that came out at the time, a cartoon that was itself based off of a very old comic strip story about a kid who dreams and goes to Dreamland, and there's a bunch of weird dream people there.
Have you read that?
So on. No.
Yeah,
I
Mikey
mean,
O'Leary's
super
asking,
old.
have you read or watched Little Nemo? I've not consumed really any Little Nemo outside of the Disney Pixar film called Little Nemo, which I think is, or Finding Nemo, which is completely unrelated.
Nemo. Right. Remember when they announced that? I was like, Finding Nemo? Are they doing something with Nemo?
Yeah,
that
exactly.
game I played?
Yeah, I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
that old video game? And it's like, okay, nope, this is just my brain making connections where there is none.
But yeah, this was a really fun playthrough. It's not too bad. And at the end, like there's a last level that is suddenly basically 4 levels in a row, and you have to beat it all, with so many lives. You can continue and start back, but it was pretty difficult, but still satisfying to get through. Somehow took me about as long, maybe a little longer than it did to beat Fester's Quest. So that was weird, but it felt good beating 2 of these childhood NES games that have kind of hung over me for a long time in the same day.
Yeah. It was fun to watch you play some Little Nemo. That was a good time. I started Wander Stop. I can't remember the name of this game ever. Let me double check here.
Yeah, it said Wander Stop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now I'm worried it's not the name of the
Wander
game.
Stop. Yeah. It is a game about making tea. It's about a little bit more than that. It's about burnout. You play as a fighter who has been fighting her whole life, and then she loses a fight, and she's like, oh god, I gotta train even harder. This is my entire life. I can't ever lose. That makes my whole life a lie. Or
if you're not first, you're last.
You're not first, you're last. So I'm gonna go train even harder. And she trains so hard, eventually she kind of can't even lift her sword anymore, and she's running through the woods, and she has to kind of drop her sword, and then she drops from exhaustion. And a big guy that kind of talks like the sauna character from Frozen, like a Swedish character or whatever, or Norwegian character, I suppose. He picks you up and carries you to his tea shop in the middle of the woods, and it's like, hey, you want to just hang out here? And at first she's like, no way, please, no, I can't do that. I can't stop. I can't be a quitter. But you take a little bit of a break, and you may start making some tea, and it's very pleasant. It is definitely a capital C cozy game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it wants to be, considered that way.
It's okay. Cozy games are better than mods.
Okay, all right, yes. And the things that disgust Mike Minotti, it is just slightly above mods, yeah. It is, I think, interesting, because it's definitely trying to explore these ideas through gameplay mechanics, while also making the gameplay mechanics fun in their own right. It is satisfying to, plant 3 things of tea in a row to make a tea fruit grow, and then you can harvest that and then go put that in a basket, let it dry, and while that's happening, you can go go gather some other stuff. Then you bring all that together. Once everything's ready, take that over to the giant tea machine, and then that is a cool little process you go through. And while you're doing all this, the game is kind of just discussing these ideas of burnout with you, and feeling overwhelmed by life and pushing yourself too hard and defining yourself through the things that you do, maybe through your work or other pursuits of passion. But I don't think it ever crosses this line into being preachy. It is just existing in these concepts. It is discussing them. But I don't think it ever is it never feels like it's scolding you or claiming that it has the definitive right answer for what people should be doing when they feel this way, which I appreciate. It feels like it's written from a very mature perspective, and that is nice. And then on top of that, it is a game that I find pleasant to play. I don't know if I'm super in the mood for something like this right now. I'm not like you where I have this I know you play it up a little bit, but cozy games usually are not the thing you're choosing to play first, and really they're not for me either these days. There's a couple I like. I would put Stardew Valley in that bucket overall, sure. A very wide form of that bucket. But that's the one that oh yeah, I'll play something like that for sure. And then this is a more boiled down take on stuff like that is maybe then amplifies the coziness side of the equation. And I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I'm just, I don't know. It doesn't, I don't want to call it a waste of my time. I feel like that is exactly what the game is trying to discuss, where it's no, just take a breath and enjoy something that is enjoyable. But it is a little bit of a barrier for me to get over, and it's definitely a mental barrier in my own brain. But it does everything well. I think it runs good on Steam Deck. It's something I can just maybe actually snuggle up with in my beanbag and hang out and play with. But yeah, not necessarily sinking its hooks into me personally. But I think there's a lot of people who will find something here to really respond to. And I think it's from some of the people that worked on what are those games called? It's those choice games where there's the narrator, Mike. The Stanley Parable? Yeah, I think the Stanley Parable.
Stanley Parable.
Yes. And so I think that's where it's these are people that know how to put ideas and writing into games. And so that side of things really shines.
Yeah. It looks interesting. I like these angry penguins I'm seeing in this one screenshot. I don't know if you've come across them yet, but that's nice.
I've not. But the fact that there are things like that in there, that does kind of entice me and make me want to play some more. I think I actually am just in a spot personally where I'm not, it's not burnout, but it is like this noise, this cacophony of everything in the world happening, sort of existing in this shell that I have to build for myself, where it's like, let's just kind of keep this family unit I have here like safe and happy, and like having a game being like, well, let's just gently touch on those feelings that you're using to like generate that shield. And it's like, oh, that's kind of sensitive, actually. I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet, and I think that's mostly what it is for me.
That's going to be your therapist's job in 10 years.
Exactly, yeah. And really, he won't be able to undo all the damage the stress has done, so that'll be fun. Maybe I should play this game. Shit. Anything else, Mike?
No. I like the idea of tea. I like tea. I wish I drank more tea. But I find I often like the idea of tea more than I actually like tea.
Well, and I think the idea I get is, I think that's true for people who also really like tea, is the process of making tea and like having tea time and making it this ritual thing. It is very important to them. So yeah, I also was like, as I'm going through this, huge elaborate version of making tea, I'm like, yeah, man, making tea is just a cool thing. I still like my yerba mate, but that is just throwing a bunch of dirt into a cup and then drinking the water out of it. So it's yeah, so
that's how you do it.
Yeah, it's great. It's but it feels like brute forcing tea in a lot of ways.
Brute forcing tea, I like that.
You playing anything else?
Gosh, still a lot of 2 Point Museum. I think I might be quote unquote beating the game as much as you can. Right. And Donkey Kong 94 and Picross, still just really liking all of that jazz. Yeah,
I'm like kind of picking up PGA 2K25 still quite frequently, and that's been my zone out game, where it's like I could just whack a ball into a hole. That's all kind of a very base need that I need to serve right now, and that's working for me. And then I've almost beat Grim Fandango, so probably gonna wrap that up this. Well, we'll see. I really gotta do my taxes, but maybe wrap that up this weekend.
Me too.
Yeah, we'll see.
Did you send me that form?
Not yet. You could sue me if you want.
That'd be great.
Yeah, but
Can I sue you?
You probably could, but you probably don't want to, because then I think you don't want to draw attention to anybody about your tax situation. So I wouldn't if I were you.
You're right.
All right.
Wait. I need a Manhunt update from Mike. How are you feeling?
Yeah.
You've been playing some.
Oh, I mean, I do. I'm playing a bit. I am almost in a mode right now where like, okay, I gotta just go in there and beat the game, and I am excited to beat the game more for the sake of beating it than because I'm going to quote unquote beat it. God, I really ruined that phrase forever for me.
Yeah, it's done.
But I gotta start saying solve it or finish it. Look, I still really like when I fight monsters in the game. My last stream when I was playing it, the story felt like it was dragging even more than usual, and there's even more of Nada or whatever that kid's name is, just kind of
Nata. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if whining's the word, but he's doing something, and he's being all like teary-eyed about something. He's very angry, and I'm not.
Let me explain you. He's conflicted. He's conflicted with the monster. He wants like the monster to keep living, but the monster is fucking up the environment. So it's like, oh, this is the dichotomy of the hunting, and I'm like, I don't really care.
Yeah, it's like, look, whatever you think, I'm gonna kill the monsters. Right, that's what I want to do.
I bought the video game. This is what I bought it to do, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but again, I do enjoy the game. I am excited to see how I feel about the sort of other end of being through this story. But I do think that the guy from Monster Hunter was like, this is why these games got so much bigger, is because we added all this story stuff. I think that is almost unhinged. And boy, do I not. I hope they don't actually believe that.
They might believe that. They're crazy.
Yeah. They might believe it. I think he might believe it. I mean, there's a correlation, which isn't, always causation, right? But there is like, wow, they made Monster Hunter World and that had more cutscenes, and then the game started selling better. Granted, Rise did it. Like, Rise pulled back from that and also sold really well, so I don't know.
Mike, what would it take for you to skip a cutscene in a video game you haven't played before?
A cutscene I'm watching for the first time, what would it take to skip it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
maybe nothing?
I don't know. Like,
let's say it's not like, let's say it's like not something like egregiously racist or offensive, so they're like, oh, you're endorsing Nazis by watching this. But like, is there something like so bad in terms of quality that if you feel like you're actually wasting your time so much that you would skip a cutscene? Do you think that's possible?
I mean, I would maybe stop playing the video game
Okay.
if I felt like that is the thing,
You would,
right? Like,
you
I
would
can't
stop playing the
separate
game
two things.
first rather than
Right.
not watch the cutscene.
If I hate the cutscenes that much,
That's crazy.
like the one time I came that close to liking a game, it so much more than the cutscenes was Neon White.
Right.
And even then, like I still like got through it. It just I don't know. I feel weird when I do it. Like this is a me thing, but I just feel like once I start doing that, well, I'm not really playing this game anymore. Actually, like this is some weird facsimile of that.
Facsimile,
at this
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Facsimile, yeah.
I just skip them
follow,
and play the video
If I
game.
follow that rule, I will never finish a game.
Wait,
That's
so wait, are
crazy.
you
That's
always
crazy.
skipping
If I follow
cutscenes?
that rule, I will never.
Christian?
If the cutscene is boring, I'm skipping
Oh,
that
sure.
shit.
Okay, no, yeah, same.
Yeah,
Well,
but if like I get it, but if the cutscene's boring, then the game is boring, and I know it's
no,
different things,
I
but
know but it is the video. I get it. Like I feel,
No.
I feel the way where it's like, no, the video game is the video game I'm playing, but I will never be like what you just said is wrong. No, that is part of the video game. Like you're right.
It's like I kind of want it all or nothing. And like, hey, this is the experience they wanted me to have, and I'm gonna like judge this whole thing based off of the experience. Like, doesn't mean I'm going to do everything. I'd like, oh, I have to do every side quest, but this stuff is, to me, in a way, super mandatory. Even though it's not, because you can't just skip them now.
Yep.
Maybe part of the problem is that I did grow up when we couldn't skip them. So
Yeah.
to me, it is just now I do things like, when games are voice acted, but you can still read the dialogue. I'll often kind of read faster than they finish their lines.
sure,
and
yeah,
I'll just
that
kinda
doesn't-
skip
that
it
That
like
I
that.
don't know.
Of course.
That you
That
have a problem
I
with,
don't do.
Christian. That's
Yes,
yeah.
that I have a problem. I just like to hear the voice acting. I don't know why. I can't do that. That's a hard enough for
Gavin
me.
House brought up Diablo 4. He skips up the dialogue, right? And like I get it, because when I was playing that Diablo 4 expansion, I was finding all the dialogue and story stuff so mundane and obnoxious to get through. But I just stopped playing the game. I really did. I was just like, well, I'm not enjoying this anymore. Like, this should be additive to the experience. This should be helping me to enjoy it. And if I don't, then I don't just resent the story. I resent the entire game.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like I'll think of a game like Bad Dudes, where it's like the intro is, the president has been kidnapped by ninjas. And like, that's what these things are here for, just to like add some flavor. And really, you're just supposed to button press through this shit and get to the video game. And that's how I view it. So it's like, if it's something I don't like, I'm like, well, that's fine. The video game's still here. So it's just a different freaks for different freaks. All right, Mike, I think we probably got a handful more super chats. Let's read those and then we'll get the hell out of here.
Yeah. From Josh Page. Jeff, you have to take responsibility for getting Life During Wartime stuck in my head. I'm annoying my family singing "This Ain't No Fooling Around" at them since Tuesday.
What? I don't. What I'm lost on this. What did I
Is
do?
this a song that you got stuck in someone's head?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You have to take responsibility for it.
You know what? Here's a good. I have been meaning to talk about this. This is
By Talking Heads.
Okay, yes. So I don't know music, the names of songs for even the bands I like.
I get this.
This I don't engage with music that way. It plays on my radio. It like
you skip the cutscenes. You skip the titles of songs. I
yes,
get it. Right?
Yes. I for like the Beatles, I can name like the Beatles. I could probably name like 3 or 4 or 5 song titles. I don't think about song music that way because I'm not cataloging it. It is something that happens, and I'm like, I enjoy that sound. So when I say something like Talking Heads is one of my favorite bands, it's true. It's one of my favorite things to hear. I wouldn't call myself a huge Talking Heads fan. Does that make any sense to anyone else?
Yeah.
This is how I feel. This is my way, but I think it's weird. I do think I'm weird about this stuff. But I just don't want to ever dedicate that much space in my head to memorizing the like lyrics and the names of bands and or names of songs and stuff like that.
The deeper you get into explaining it, it's sounding weirder. At first, it's not that weird.
I do think I'm a little bit weird on this stuff, but it's like I just would rather hear it than anything else, and that's good enough for me. So yeah. All right. Any more super chats?
Screaming Man says, "How do you two feel about the cartoon SWAT Cats?" I did not watch much SWAT Cats. I'm sure you hate them, Jeff, because they're cops.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. I'm like trying to like think. Someone called the Elite Beat Agents cops, and I'm like, are they cops? Are they music police?
I thought they were helpers.
Yeah, like they just seem they're like
I thought it was like a non-profit.
Right, they're the Mr. Rogers helpers. Look for the helpers, and you'll see the Elite Beat Agents.
Opposite of cops.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you, guys.
They exclusively help people.
Yeah. Yep. That's the definitional opposite of cops. You're right.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, they helped that one guy steal things, right? Like they didn't even rat him out. They help people commit crimes.
That- okay,
They are
you're
not
right.
cops.
They're just
Yeah,
the music
absolutely not.
enforcers, but the music is a crime itself.
Mikey O'Leary says Jack Ryan 5 movie set arrived today. 40 hits hard. That's funny. What's your favorite Jack Ryan movie, Jeff?
I think, well, my favorite Jack Ryan movie is easy. It's Hunt for the Red October, which is one of my favorite movies.
God,
Period.
I always forget
Correct
that counts
answer?
for some reason.
Yeah. That's like the
Shit.
Jack Ryan movie. But
I guess that's better than Clear and Present Danger, as much as I like that
yeah,
one.
Clear and Present Danger is great. That Amazon Prime show is like prime dad show bullshit. So I like it.
What do people think of Sum of All Fears these days? That was a hit at the time.
I think it's considered a little bit lesser, but it's like a guilty pleasure for me.
Do people even remember the Chris Pine one?
No.
Did it do very well?
No,
Oh yeah,
I
I
don't
was
think it
about
did
to
very
ask
well.
that. It did. Is that one a good one? or is this-
I like it, but it's also kind of lesser. But I really like what's his name? The old dude in that one who's in Yellowstone. I can never remember his name. Kevin. I want to say Kevin Nealon.
Costner?
Yeah, Kevin Costner. I like Kevin
Kevin
Costner.
Costner,
Yeah, that's a weird thing of mine.
I think it's just such a big coward move how all the other Jack Ryan movies don't have the name Jack Ryan in the title, and then Chris Pine's is called Jack Ryan.
I mean,
Shadow Recruit.
yeah, you're right. They're definitely like, we need to like turn this into a brand so that maybe we can have a connected universe. That was in that time. So yeah.
Alrighty, and then we got one here, last one here from Zassy says, did you guys play The Big Catch? It's a crazy high quality platformer from Steam Next Fest I think you'd like a lot. I did not.
I didn't either, but I'll check this out. That's not the carnival one that I was talking about. No, because that's
The Big Catch, I would assume it's about fishing, but that's just an assumption.
no, but I didn't play this one. No, I'll check it out.
It is
It looks about
fishing adjacent.
cool.
I don't know if it's like all Big the Cat related, but it looks like he has a fishing pole.
Okay, well, yeah, sounds like a good time to me. All right,
And
anything
that's
else,
it.
Mike?
I don't think we're caught up.
All right. Thanks for all the super chats, everybody. Thanks to everybody who tuned in and listened to the show. Mike Benani, I'm gonna hit the button to get us out of here. Okay. You feeling ready? I know you got a secret mission you're on this weekend. I know that's maybe the most stressful part is getting ready, but do you have everything
Right, and I wanna
packed
be
and ready
clear,
to go?
I don't want people to be like, oh, he's gonna make. I'm not even gonna really be able to make content. Be everybody. So I think I'm sorry. But
He's
yeah.
doing Mikey stuff for Mikey. Yeah, we don't get all of his time, everybody. We can't mine every
I
bit of the
wish.
Mikey. Some stuff belongs
if I
to
could
him.
have, I might have. But yeah.
Is it
but,
related to your balls?
No, it's not related to my balls. I wish. Packing is always stressful, especially because there's so much stuff I can only pack in the morning, like all the toiletries and now the CPAP machine and whatnot. But it's fine. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying out this new budget airline that opened up a route to Orlando from Akron, so I'll see how that goes.
Yeah, report
But,
back on
if
that,
it
'cause
works,
that-
it'll be nice.
That might be we might use something like that next time. I mean, we usually fly United. I got like a United credit card, and that's handy. But it was expensive.
Breeze, yeah.
So
Yeah, Mikey O'Leary, it's Breeze.
I'll try
So.
Breeze.
Yeah, I think it. Look, just from looking at it, I'm like, okay, I think it's gonna be nicer than like a Frontier
Sure.
or a Spirit, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, we'll see.
I hate the way Spirit like paints their planes yellow. I think I'm like, even just like, look, you don't have to like also make the planes ugly just because like, you could still make them look nice. No one will stop you.
When I was a kid, the idea of like the liveries that they would put on planes that were like, oh, here's a bunch of Pokemon. I'm like, oh, do they do that with like all the planes? And growing up and realized it's like, no, that was like one plane once several decades ago. And like no planes are decorated in a fun way. That was pretty disappointing. I wish we got more of that.
Yeah, we should have more fun with planes again.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, fun. They should take planes less seriously is what I think.
Yeah, right.
Well, we're well on our way in some ways. All right, everybody. If you are watching live, we'll have some more stuff on Giant Bomb tomorrow. Unprofessional Fridays is going to have repo and stuff like that. Tune in for that. Till then, have a good one. Take care of yourself, and goodbye. sixth fart that really gets you.
It's really classing up this show lately. A penis?
Hey, Mike Benatti! Fuck you!
Go faster looking motherfucker!
Incredible.